Hey Legionnaires, welcome back. We're here with the finale of the Austerlitz mini-series here, and this is a glorious one. We've left the best till last, I've been told. This is the right flank here of the Austerlitz battle here. As you can see, the Chasseurs Cheval already being routed here by some Austrian cavalry, as they've been sent in to deal with the scouting French forces there. But yes, this is the best battle apparently of the bunch. It's a bloody battle. Like, the bodies that are in this one, like, just cover the entire area that they're going to be fighting over. This is going to be the battle for sort of like Telnitz down here. This was in history, was a bit of a diversionary attack for the French. They barely sent any forces down here. They just sent troops down here to distract the Russians and the Austrians and try and draw them in here before they made a big push across the Pratzen Heights, which we've already covered. If you haven't seen that battle, I do recommend going checking out that one, along with also part 1. If you are new to the mini-series and haven't seen any of them, you should definitely go check out all of those. Hopefully one of them will be popping up at some point, and you can go and click on that one and get yourself straight into the Napoleonic action. And it's a really cool one, yes. So yeah, if you're new to the mini-series sort of system, or you can't remember maybe what we do, then basically we have all 4 armies fighting in a small area in a corner over here. So this is to represent the right flank. We then had another separate battle where all 8 armies were fighting in the center, and then the same on the left flank as well. And it's basically to try and just recreate sort of the scale a little bit more of Napoleonic battles, and also it just means that you kind of can then focus on each corps a little bit more. So like we have Davout here, we also have Soult over here as well, which I don't know if we really should have Soult, but maybe that was some balancing. Soult was more in the middle with the Pratzen Heights. We also have another Soult there. We have, I think it's just Davout and Soult actually. I think it's just the 2 corps today that are on offer. So so yeah, so it's trying and like make it a bit more historically accurate as well, because like, for instance, in the center we just had Soult, and then we just had Murat, and then that was it. And I think we maybe had maybe Bernadotte as well, but I think that was just to represent another marshal or another commander. You see some Russian cav being broken here. Is it even Russian? No, they are actually Austrian hussars, because someone was saying, where are all the Austrians in the last part? And they are here, don't worry. We have cavalry here that is Austrian. I'm pretty sure they probably brought some Austrian infantry as well. We got some more Austrian cavalry back here. Austrian cavalry is probably their stronger point. I don't know if much Austrian infantry will be brought, because although it is historically accurate, or like trying to be historically accurate, players also probably would prefer to bring Russian infantry over Austrian infantry, as they are a bit more sturdy when it comes to melee fighting, which I can imagine this battle is going to be a fair amount. And you can see here plenty of Russian musketeers getting ready, some picking themselves up after being hit by a cannonball. How they've quite survived, I don't know, but as Russians they are made of steel, so that might be why. Yeah, the Russian lines moving forward here. I'm very excited to see how this one goes. God, it looks like some dragoons waiting way over here in the forest though, so they will be getting a little sneaky flank. I don't exactly know where the border is, but I imagine they can't go much further left than where those dragoons are, really, to be honest. And obviously the red line on the far side over there is the border. So and they are set rules. You can't. It's just to try and avoid the entire battlefield being used, because the idea is that it is just the right flank. And you can see the Russians getting set up and ready to go. There is some musket fire going off. That's really just the Voltigeurs back here doing that at the moment. We have got some Chasseurs Cheval as well, looking like they might be able to go for a flank on those Russians. I think that's what they're scouting for. As light cav, they're having a look to see what is on offer. Got some Legere here moving forward. The Alpine Legion. And here we go, a big cavalry charge coming now as the guns are getting set up. We've got some dragoons coming in here. I think they're going to get taken out. That was a really good volley there by the Russians, yeah, and they broke. And now the Russians are going to counterattack, I think, with their own cavalry and go in for these dragoons that were on the flank here. I think this is just a little Cossack unit, yeah, by the Russians, so that's not going to do too much. But the dragoons just about came out of that. They are on red morale. One volley, and that will break them, just like that, yeah. I'm going to say Colin, the dragoon, he's been routed. Looks like the chasseurs there found some troops. I don't know why they haven't gone for this horse artillery here. That is begging to be taken out, I feel like. Very isolated. Some of the infantry, though, here for the Russians already looking a little bit worse for wear. I think they're being hit pretty hard. I don't know what's going on with this angling here, but they need to be careful. Just going to shoot your own men. And yeah, he's... Oh, look at this. He's getting a lot of his own men. This is not good. Just have them facing forward, and they'll fire to the sides on their own. That is just how you break your own men. Yeah, that Russian player needs to sort that line out. Here we go, though. We've got a little cavalry unit rushing forward here. Is this I think that's an Austrian Hussar coming forward again, and it looks like the Chasseurs having none of that. But the Voltigeurs, it's not exactly a great target to be going for. I wouldn't really worry about them too much, but they actually might help take out these Chasseurs anyway, because they went down to orange morale. And to be fair, that has actually baited in that cavalry. And the Austrians coming forward again. Well, the Austrians won as well here. It's a bit risky carrying on. There's another Collins back over on this side as well. We've got 2 Collins here today. He's been sent in here as well. Should have routed these Hussars, I imagine. They have routed the Voltigeurs over here as well with the Austrian Cav, the Austrian Dragoons. And it looks like we're now seeing the Chasseurs Cheval going in. They will do what damage they can to these Dragoons. And I think they've sent them packing. But it's also cost them their own cavalry unit. A lot of cavalry being used early on here. Hopefully someone is going to leave some cavalry in reserve, because they might need it. You never know. Here we go, the line infantry all getting ready, and they've got a good little position here. The shrubbery in front of them. They look like they're ever so slightly in a little dip in the road as well. So yeah, they should hopefully get a little bit of cover. And they are routing a few of these Russian units. That is good to see there. We also have some 8-pounders here. They are shelling away. I mean, got some pretty decent shot like sights in those infantry in front of them. Got a Dragoon unit back here in reserve. Plenty of Dragoons and line infantry actually in reserve, which is good to see. We've got some Trilliers Dupont. Cool. These are cool kind of units. Never seen these before. They're kind of cool though. I like them. They're going to keep firing away, doing what they can. And more musketeers out here getting ready. Oh my gosh, look at the volley into that unit. The artillery unit alone nearly took out that. It has. Just took that out on its own. What a shot there from the 12-pounder. Blitzing that unit. Oh my god. Town hall being taken. So yeah, just some carabineers sent in there. Good unit actually to throw in. They are a small enough unit that the whole unit gets in there. Plus, sort of like a grenadier, like light infantry unit. They're quite useful, probably in a building. Good accuracy and also decent in melee. Looks like we've got more cavalry here coming forward. They're trying to go up to infantry. I would imagine these guys can form square. They can't actually. So this actually might be an easy kill here for the Austrians. No, it was not. They've been sent packing. Artillery has been abandoned though. They are somewhere, I imagine. I'm seeing a counter charge now from Colin, the Dragoon. He's going on in. And now the Austrians going to counter charges back and forth, back and forth. They're going in for that infantry again. The 48th here. They can't form square. And again, Colin charges forward, and I think this is a full charge now. A full committing of forces. And I think Colin is going to come out victorious. Excellent. Here we go. Russian infantry going against Laguerre. Laguerre is pretty good at shooting, not so much as much a fighter as the other infantry units might be. And then one unit's broken. That'll probably break the other one, just because that's how NTW 3 tour works. When one unit breaks, it starts a chain route. Other units get unnerved by seeing friends routing, which makes sense. Cavalry here also failed in a charge against a squareable unit. Actually, Laguerre's sort of held on a little bit longer. I'm surprised. But it's always good to see. We've got Colin who went deep in enemy lines and actually managed to get an artillery piece. Good on Colin. I like how that's just his name now. And then we have got Cossacks that have just rushed up and they've routed him, unfortunately, there. That is unfortunate to see. Another cavalry charge taking place over here. And this time they're going in for the 12-pounders here that decimated that infantry earlier. The Dragoons here have been routed. And it was just about enough to stop those Cossacks, though. Still got some dragoons back here waiting patiently. These guys are actually in, I didn't realize they're in melee. But this is some Austrian infantry here. It's elusive Austrian infantry people are waiting to see. There was some definitely in the Pratzen Heights. I didn't see it. I think it went in first. And they're kind of doing the same on the right as they did on Pratzen Heights, doing on this right flank, sending in the Austrians first. And there's actually plenty of Austrians here, so I think some players are probably required to bring Austrian troops. There you go. A decent enough volley, more like German infantry, more Austrian infantry coming up. And there is more Austrians and some Russians sitting up here. Plus, I think that actually in the last part there was Austrian grenadiers being bought. So I don't know if the Russians really have it. Yeah, in go the Russians with their infantry. They get a good volley off the French before they stand a good chance. These are that's an Austrian unit there that's just winning. That's for sure. That's definitely not Russian uniform. They're usually in dark green if they're Russian. This guy should be able to hold for a while, I imagine. The infantry's... Russia and France are kind of the two juggernauts when it comes to melee fighting in NTW3. It requires him to get a good volley, though, before this France, if he wants to win an infantry fight for sure. Or they could just rout one unit, and then it just causes other Russians, like, look at that. That was on a green, and now it's on an orange, just because their friend's routing in this fight. Russia maybe needs to be a little bit less generous with charging his men in. I think he might need to hold on a little bit, but certainly in a gunfight, he is going to have a tough time. Bringing up this horse artillery, though, if he brings us up kind of close, with quite a lot of the cavalry, I think, for the French spent, he can protect it. He can then use his guns to just kind of pound his way through. We have got some Austrian hussars here clashing with French dragoons. There's also a whole mix of infantry down here for both sides. And the French dragoons have had enough. Here you go, some more of those Austrian grenadiers. They're in the square, and they might need to go into melee soon because the French are very close. But yeah, both sides on the brink of breaking, but it is the Russians that are just giving way first. The Austrians here really blobbing up. Oh my god. They're going to pour a volley in before they go in, but I mean, they're getting hit hard. Go in, boys. The French might just about get a volley off. They might not. No, it seems not. Austrians are just getting repulsed very easily right now. Here we go. Here come the hussars over on this side here, doing their bit. French keep sending these units packing. We've got grenadiers that are lined down here for the French. I did wonder if they'd have any. It doesn't seem like they have as many as in previous battles. That's for sure. Although maybe they're just keeping them further back. No, well, they've got another grenadier back there, which is good to see. My gosh, though, look at the blobs down here. We've got Austrians, we've got Russians, all mixed in, trying to break through a single French infantry unit right now. That is just a line infantry unit. I thought maybe it might have been grenadier or something, but it's not. They're just holding... Oh, there is now a second unit in there, but a lot of coalition forces breaking there. That's not good to see. They are really fighting over Telnitz right now. The battle for that is bloody. Over on this side, you can see that the coalition really aren't throwing much forward. This might just be a single army over here. That is taking this Davout Corps on. There's a lot of Laguerre here. It's quite happy to fight in a line fight. Got line infantry here as well, holding. But yeah, the fight over here is still raging on. More line infantry being sent in. I mean, these guys just don't want to break. The French refuse to break. Whether it be better, a general's been killed. That is not good. I don't know. Might be a combat gen, I imagine. But yeah, that is not good. The general for this coalition army over dead over here. Could cause a mass rout. I mean, there's a lot of units on red morale right now. Mainly for the coalition, but some of the French units are as well. And the French are slowly getting broken through over here. The Russians, yeah, have broken through with their light infantry by the looks of it. Surprisingly, it was them that broke through. There's a general right here as well. Davout himself is just there. We've got more grenadiers, the line coming forward here. They're going to countercharge the Jaeger, light infantry. That should be an easy win, I'd imagine, for the French. I mean, it's light infantry against really scary, angry grenadiers. I mean, they should really just set up these infantry units to just fire onto the squares. Just don't, if they're going to stay like that in the square, that's fine. But my gosh, I mean, both sides actually trading a lot of units there. I feel like the French came out of that one on top. But as you can see, the coalition has just more to bring. They've just got so many more Russians to come. Really, they are throwing their full weight against Telnitz here. It's great to see. This unit here, I guess, maybe too small to form square if it could. Usually most of the lights can for Russia, but yeah, that Dragoon there, that's going to easily just mop these guys up, I imagine. They didn't get a volley off. And funnily enough, actually, maybe they did rout the light infantry, they did. The grenadiers, though, are gone. The Russians are going to hold for them for now, but yeah, the bodies mounting up here is insane. Here come the Dragoons as well. Fresh off defeating some light infantry, now into the Russian line. There might have been enough more than they can chew here, though. Yep, that was too much for them. And here we go. We've got lights going in, or the Laguerre going in. The building's been occupied. I don't know which one, but maybe it's one near the front line. It is, I think. It's this one here. Farmhouse here. What do they throw in? Just some Voltigeurs. Okay. So nothing exciting, but they're just putting something in there, I guess, just to protect it, because I imagine that's the main objective of the Russians and the Austrians. But yes, I hope you guys are enjoying the mini-series. If you are, do remember to leave a like, subscribe if you're new around here, and a comment, show your support. It really does help out the channel. The Russians are fighting on to the death there, really are. More of a line fight over here. There's a lot of open ground to try and cross, I guess, for the Russians. They're bringing up light infantry, though, to try and join this fight. Should send this other one in, unless it's maybe a combat gen, I don't know. But yeah, should have most of this infantry trying to open fire. Maybe they're having these guys in reserve to try and support morale, I don't know. Often it's a common tactic. The Russians are still battling their way through over here. And we've got Austrian cav as well supporting. The 108th are going to break. This the cousins of the Emperor here. Each and every one of them related to Napoleon himself. Nah, that'd be funny if they were, but they're not. You could go into melee and then have these guys on the side and just flank in and shoot them. They are also breaking out a square, so perfect time now to charge this unit with the cavalry once again if they wanted to. But the Russians are getting into Telnitz now. The French have some reserves, which is good to see, but not like massive. Van Damme's back here with a infantry unit, with a few infantry units. We've also got just some regular sort of line infantry. We've got a Dragoon as well, Colonel General, but it's not a healthy unit at all. 12 pounders battling away. And it looks like the Russians are now going to throw a lot of their weight onto maybe the other half of the battle here. Looks like for Skolkonitz and Kobelnitz, they're going to fight for those ones next by the looks of it. Maybe they think they've got enough to take this area? I don't know. I would never doubt the French. Never in my life would I ever doubt the French. They can pull a victory out of nowhere. Trilliers, though the cousins of the Emperor have been routed. That is a shameful thing to see. The cousins of the Emperor, you know, they should be fighting to the last man. They're here for the cause. Russian infantry, I think, was quite quickly routed. Whether this unit, I don't know, got focused down as it came in. I don't know. Got some Austrian infantry going in here. It's like an Austrian light or something just going in. They've been routed. They just, I don't know what the objective was there. Slow down the French? I'm really not sure. An artillery piece, though, has been pulled off. Don't know if that was the plan, but we are also going to see a cavalry unit. Oh, I think they weren't going in for these trilliers of the Po, I don't think. And they have sort of pulled through to get out of this combat, but they are going for the guns. They might give the guns a second to fire. No. Oh, one of them got a volley off. Really nice. That might, you know, rout this Cossack. It did. And it's also routed the guns. Probably a fair exchange. But that actually will help the Russians out in this advance. They can now push up the center if they wanted to. I think they can make some more progress here. We also got that little Austrian Chevalier or Dragoon over here. For some reason, that artillery crew is still in combat. I don't know why it is, but it is. I don't know where they've come from. Maybe on a gun that's like now in captured ground by the Russians. I'm not sure. Whether this 8-pounder crew could mount up onto that 12-pounder gun, I don't know, but I feel like that should be a thing. Like, it's just a different caliber of gun. They'd still be trained to be able to, like, operate the same artillery piece, really. And here we go. We've got Grenadiers going in. I don't know where they're going into combat. They're green morale. I'll probably take out these crew here, but that's about it. Allied General dead. Van Damme is dead. And I imagine that's his army gone. I don't know what else he's got. What corps is he part of? He's part of the Soult Corps over here. So that's actually kind of worrying because there's a lot of Soult units here. But maybe he had no choice but to send them in. Over on this side, this is also Soult. And then that's Davout over there. Here we go. Cavalry charge coming in. The goons charging in. They're going to try and get rid of some of these Austrians and Russians here. Clear them out. Got rid of a couple, but you need to be careful. These Dragoons are probably worth like gold right now, but they are like gold dust. They're really needed. Keep them alive. There's not much cav left in this game. Certainly the coalition don't seem like they have much. This is not good though. This is just a little light infantry unit in here, and that's engaged with Austrian grenadiers, if I'm correct. These Voltigeurs are going to get outmatched. And there you go. The building has fallen to the enemy. That was a huge one. Why France, as they watched the Russians get closer, didn't have changed that round? Have a better unit in there. Just an infantry unit would have done the job. But yeah, the Russians now are able to carry on pushing around. They basically hold the majority of Telnitz at this point. They can just kick them out of Telnitz. They can wrap around this flank, and then they can make their push into Koblenitz and Skolnitz. In goes the Russian infantry. Looks like most of it's routing in this first wave coming forward. We also have a grenadier, like a line grenadier of the line coming forward. I don't know what the problem was saying that was. There was a problem apparently. Artillery on this side here. These horse artillery absolutely pounding the few little line infantry units that are here. And I think that's the plan. Just bring up the artillery and just start pounding these infantry units. And it's not a bad plan at all. We've got Russians going in here. They actually might get routed here by Voltigeurs. That's a win there, I guess, for the French, routing us several units there. What is this artillery doing here? Where is these mad lads going? This is the Austrian horse artillery. And they're going to do... What is happening there? They dismounted. And they're going to get taken out by Voltigeurs. What the heck happened there? A strange play, I'm not going to lie, by the Austrian player, or the Austrian-Russian player. This one needs to move forward as well, unless it's shelling that building, which it honestly might be. It's not a bad spot, but I bring it forward, bring it to the front lines to help try and shell these French infantry units that are currently having a lot of pain right now. I can hear more charging, but I don't know where it is. No, I have no idea. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Got more fighting going on over here, though. The Russian lights getting engaged, doing their dueling. Putting the fear of God into these Frenchies. They've just been kicked out of their town. That didn't go like in history. Obviously, the French win the Battle of Austerlitz. See whether they can do it today. They've won the other two parts of the French. Can they make it a clean sweep? Or will there be a toughie here? Or will it be a defeat and victory for the coalition? If they win it, I think it's a pretty good win, to be honest. So Russian infantry going in here. Taking out this gun crew. It's a big win here again. Allows the Russians in the center over here to push forward. If they can do it, the 8 pound actually is kind of healthy. Kind of is actually stood its ground. My God. With the support of dragoons and other infantry, they routed the Russians and made a daring dash across this river. The line fight continues, persists. Got another charge here by the Russians. They're really just like sitting in tiny little units to try and break the French right now. I don't know if it's going to be enough. Concerning thing for the Russians on this flank, the Russians and Austrians, the French do have reserves. So if a unit does break, I mean, some of them are just bad little units. The French can send up some better troops. They've actually got more carabiniers back here as well. Some building. Well, it says it's 72 out of 72. Oh, it's the Grenadiers down there. I think it is. Yeah, they've taken out the Carabiniers and they put in the Grenadiers of the line. Louis Friant is in there. You can hear plenty of bugles going on. It's because light infantry here has routed that Russian light infantry. France looks like it went for a bit of an assault. The 43rd line has been repulsed, but the Russians equally have been repulsed as well. I was about to say it'd be great if the coalition had any cavalry, but I'm pretty sure they don't. But if they need cavalry really to get around this flank here, do some damage. They also need to be super aggressive on this flank here and just stop pushing back. Like, they got 1, 2, 3, 4 units there. Just be super. I mean, the 5th one there you could argue as well, and maybe even more. You could really say push across from Telnitz here, get around the back of the French, cause some problems. This Russian army here is just trying to duel the French head on here, and it's not winning. They need support from a flank. The French need to be shot on them from multiple flanks. That'll break them. It'll also keep the French moving backwards. Instead of shooting at you, they'll be retreating. And the French don't have very far that they can retreat. I imagine they can't go much further higher than Koblenz. So they can't really retreat forever. They've got to stand their ground. And it seems like the French are going to go for a charge now. They're going to try and make a little offensive of their own. Russian infantry here ready to receive them. And it looks like, you know, the Russians, they ain't too happy. Here we go, Dragoons coming forward as well. They've wrapped up 2 units. They might be able to just roll down this line now. Looks like they are. The Russian musketeers unable to form square. And there you go. That's another one gone. That's a 3rd. We'll see a 4th, I think, in a moment. The Dragoons unfazed by the musket fire right now. Yeah, this is not good here for the Russians. The Vus up here sort of supporting the fight. Soult over here is doing what he does best, and he's killing coalition's forces. He's doing a great job. His line infantry, though, well, this actually isn't Soult's Davud. I would presume Soult lost most of his troops. It's got a couple of units left. Fire a volley, boys! For the Emperor! Very nice. Very nice. The French infantry, that 3rd of the line, was successful in routing a lot of Russians. They're making a retreat. But it does seem as though that the Russians are making their own offensive on this flank here. 48 was broken, but like I said, when you break through the first line, there's a second line waiting. So I don't know. Don't know for the Russians. It's looking pretty painful right now. We also have a general moving forward. They need to be careful. This guy actually could be useful for morale and stuff. They don't want to just throw him away. Even if you are out of troops, they just throw him away and get him killed. And the French are being flanked. The Russian line got in here. It's going to try and do some damage to the Laguerre, but it's getting surrounded itself by grenadiers. And here we go. We got. I thought it was a cavalry that went in, but it's not. It's just the guns being limbered up. They are going to have to be quick about it. They're going to do this. What is this unit? What are you doing, sir? It's cost you your unit being so spastic. Carabineers have gone in, they're going to rout that unit. And that looks like it's the right flank for the coalition wrapped up and gone, to be honest. The French look like they have held on that right flank for now. It's now the left flank of this this battle now that's the problem. There is actually, is this a... I thought it was at a coalition cavalry unit, but it's not. It was a French one that's been routed. The Colonel General being routed, it seems, by a little Austrian unit. They've actually got a lot more out here than I thought. It keeps getting hit him. Yeah, they really need to be aggressive now. Russia's like, well, the Russian troops. They are actually Russian as well. Though everyone is described as Russian, still have the Russian flag. They're hanging on by the skin of their teeth. And then more charging. And we've got the Carabineers going in. Those guys are pretty good at melee. Russians have returned over here, and they've still got their artillery. Oh my gosh, look at the amount of guns they have here. It's a six gun unit. It's insane. It's being brought forward to get point blank range. It seems a bit overkill. There's another one over here. There's a 4-gun unit. The Russians do know. Oh my god, look at the amount of guns over. Another 4-man unit, 4-gun unit. They're really bringing forward all the heavy guns right now, right at the end. Seems a bit last ditch. If I do say so myself. I mean, the French on this side could just march forward and take out their guns, then just get around the back. I don't know if they have any cav left. They do. They have a dragoon, artois, all the way over on this side over here. Infantry just dueling, well, it's not even dueling with these Grenzers here, the Hungarian Grenzers. Just getting sending them packing really early on. Some returning Russians here, they'll get sent back to Moscow very, very quickly. I wonder the guns expect to achieve this. I mean, they could shell this building, I guess. That'd be kind of pretty useful. I mean, I imagine Telnitz was their objective, but I could be wrong. Might be that both these other two buildings over here are also their objectives, like Kolbenitz, Skolnitz, and then Telitz. There you go, Austrian infantry doing its bit. Austrian infantry, I'd say, is a little bit better at shooting, but only a little bit. The French, I feel like, are still probably better at shooting than both these factions. And, I mean, Britain's king at it as well. Fire a volley then, men. For the Tsar. Or not. Stand there and just get hit at. I think the French, I was going to say, I think they're just standing here because they're expecting more troops to arrive, but looks like they are retreating some. They certainly could do with retreating some because, I mean, Salt over here and Davout are not having a fun time. And the other Davout army over here just needs to shift across a few troops, help block, just, you know, stop these damn Russians. It's a close game, though. That is for sure. I think if France threw his full weight, though, against these remaining Russians, they'd be okay. But I guess the fear of not knowing what's out there, what's going to return, what's not. That's kind of keeping a lot of French troops situated over there in Austerlitz and Kabelnitz. Here come the Russians. Again, I'd hold fire, just be careful, you don't want to shoot your own men, not at this stage of the game. Unit breaking. Carabineers broken, of all units. It's a handy unit as well. But it looks like the French are retreating, it just looks like they're going to box themselves around this, this building over here, this farmhouse, which is very much on fire, 89%. Maybe it isn't an objective, because they're just shelling it to the ground. Maybe they are going to be able to, I don't know, are they shooting? It's all on 89%. I can hear the guns keep firing, so I'm expecting to just see this building collapse. There's a lot of men around it. Would be a bit of a win if they collapsed it, I guess. Certainly not. With this, like, 54-man unit here, the 33rd marching past it, collapsed right onto them. I think they're shooting other, this 8-pounder over here. I think that's their plan. I can hear bayonet charge, I think. Don't know where that is, but I heard a charge. Man, this fight is going on. I thought there was a done deal when the Telnitz was taken, but it does seem as though the French, after holding on this side here, they managed to just about recover enough troops. What's the guns move forward? Why are they moving this 6-pound, this six gun unit forward? It's probably like a 12-pounder. It probably doesn't need to be this close. But they don't care. They're just going to bring it much closer, keep shooting us. If there is an infantry unit that's returned as well. Got a horse artillery over here as well. It's also getting closer. Good to see. Got some more of those carabineers here. They do look very grenadier-like. And technically, I think they are down as a grenadier, sort of like a grenadier for light infantry. They do look really cool. I'm a big fan of them. Big fan. Very nice volley, very nice volley. Keep it up, men. 48th here, doing their bit. 100th and 11th. We've also got Jean Saint-Raymond. He's doing his bit there. You've got George Kister. What a name. Some classic French ones there. But there you go. The Russians are on the run. They're going back to Telnitz. They're done fighting out here. And that's probably for the best, actually. I think they'd be better on the defense. They just wait for the French to come and assault them. Come and like try and retake their village. Probably for the best. I don't think they had the manpower to take Skolnitz and Kabelnitz. Not now. They've certainly got the firepower in these cannons that they can just level these two towns to the ground, but that is not the objective. Jeez, yeah, 71%. They've really been leveling these buildings where they can. I think there's still... I know they're taking all the men out of it, probably for the best. Yeah, they're going to the lines over there, 52. Whether, if they're patient, I guess they're just unaware that this is unoffended. If they're patient, they could get this little line infantry way over there, just go capture it. That would be a pain for the French. This one also has no one in it. I guess they're just doing it just to make sure that the French, sorry, that the Russians don't keep bombarding it. It does seem a shame that, like, and would be really cool in Total War if, like, a building like that got destroyed and then it became ruins, and then you could still occupy the ruins. That would be very cool. Because that's, I mean, that's what will happen throughout war. Certainly in, like, more modern wars, like, a building would be destroyed. Didn't mean it was a redundant place to defend. It may have had less cover. But if it was a key position, you'd fight for it. You'd hold those ruins until you kicked out of them. I mean, that's kind of what the Russians are going to have to do here. Fight for the ruins of Telnitz. I mean, it's not too ruined. There's a couple of destroyed buildings, but, you know, it's in pretty good condition still. After having a battle rage on through it. I mean, the bodies over here. Oh, boy. They be looking tasty. There's a lot of bodies. A lot of French, actually, as well, I can see down here. There's plenty of coalition as well. Here we go, they were charged by those Romanian dragoons, taking out the Austrians here. That was kind of out of nowhere. Really nice in there by the Artois. Dragoons are going to go into the next unit. Looks like they are. Don't know whether they form square. It looks it. And that might cost the French their final cavalry unit. Well, whether is that worth it? I don't know. Yep, it seems like the French and the Russians quite happy to sit either side of this river. And you can see it with the bridge there and the bridge over here. They're just going to sit either side of their river. And they're just going to wait patiently, I think. And they're going to just see who makes the first move. Who has the guts to make that bayonet charge. It's a big risk because you're obviously leaving yourself very vulnerable. But it could go very well. Break that one unit, you can then go down the line. Oh, it's beautiful. A bayonet slash musket volley combo. It looks very, very nice. 43rd over here, the 36th. They're moving up. Set up, boys. Time for a nasty volley. Into the side. Fire when ready! Or not. Do what you want, boys. Lovely stuff. Lovely stuff. I don't know why Davu's way out there. Any other game, if he's just way out there on his own on the flank, or, like, on his own, that's asking to be cav charged. But this is now a non-cavalry game, if I'm correct. I think I can confidently say there's no cav left now that one dragoon is gone. The only horses are the ones on the battlefield that are the ones dragging those Russian artillery and also Davu's bodyguard, I guess. Technically a cavalry unit. But I think Davu will be holding him in reserve for a little while yet. It's not quite the time to be throwing in generals just yet. But we're not far off it, I feel. We're not far off it. And the general being thrown in. That would be quite something to see. You know, they did fire the front line. That would be taking it to another level. Fire, men! Or not. Just show your guns off. I feel like they're shooting more retreating Russians than anything else. The Russians using these buildings to sort of get cover. Oh, well, this actually need to be careful, but actually they're okay. The Austrians here, I thought were shooting to the back of their own men, but they're not. They're doing just fine. Good to see he's making sure he's not shooting back to his own men. I have this unit here. Look the other way. It's always a good idea. You need to be careful here with this unit. I don't know if the Austrian unit here is firing, but if it is, I might need to be careful and hold fire. Yeah, it's ever so slightly. It's a dicey one, that's for sure. I would move it. But that's just me. Oh, the Vu lost the bodyguard. He was at 12 early. He's now down to 11. I think it's just a fluke shot. Don't think they're actually focusing him down. Artillery over here, though. I mean, well, I think they're relimbering. I don't know what they're doing. What are you doing? I don't know. They're doing something. More artillery's over here. They're firing away. They've leveled that building. I guess that wasn't an objective, like a main objective. It wasn't to be worried about. The crackling of the fire. But it seems like the French are going to keep a couple of units dotted around here just to keep it safe. But they are just dueling, I think, with the 8-pounder as well over here. Here we go. A bayonet charge finally getting underway. The French have gone in and they've routed 2 units of Russians there. I think a few of these have been routed from volleys, though, more than bayonet charges. I know these guys are nearly breaking. So, I mean, one determined push here from the French should easily see them off. And now the French are into Telnitz once again. It's been a little while since they've stepped foot in this village, but they're back. Now a volley into the side of that Russian unit. Not really into the side of it, but this unit of Russians here. I mean, it's going to get taken out by the 111th, but it's not taken out by the 33rd here. They'll put a side volley in and that'll rout them pretty quickly. You can see the Russian left, well, the coalition left, I should say, fully gone now. These final units just need to defend around the town, or around this townhouse here, this farmhouse, and just prepare for a last stand. It looks like it's going to be at Telnitz, but my gosh, has it been a great battle. It's been pretty close. I wouldn't have said insanely close, but it has been pretty close. They're actually they're nearly taking out this artillery crew. They are hitting it. There are crew members being hit, and the morale is going down, but it's not exactly a great use of their time. I wonder whether that horse artillery really could have been brought over to support over here. It's speedy enough that it could have got over there. And these ones are probably helping to do their bit. There's also one infantry unit here that probably should be thrown forward. They need every man in that village now trying to do their bit. The battle for Telnitz is very much raging. Still got a grenadier the lineup here. Louis is coming forward. I think they actually did rout that. Wow, they actually did manage to rout that gun. That's impressive. Fair enough. And here we go. Determined French charge by the grenadiers. That's easy. Routed the Russians there, and that's another general killed off. And there you go. I think they've just about killed off what remains of this Russian force in Telnitz. Morale is not looking good for what's evident in that building. I imagine it's the Russian infantry. Oh no, it's still those Austrian grenadiers from when they took it, of course. Could be a little bit tougher to take, but with no general, or at least I believe no general, should be a little easier. And in go the 48th line. They're going to go storming into this building, try and get rid of these grenadiers. Let's see, what's morale looking like? Combat losing. Okay, I mean, that's no surprise really. It's a grenadier unit in there. Maybe it is a different general that they serve under, because their morale's unaffected. I expect them at least to go down a little bit. We are seeing Louis Friant's unit as well going in. They're being shot at as they wait outside, though. Maybe they should have been sent in first. Yeah, they're getting shot point blank range, but they have taken the building. The French did manage to kick out the grenadiers pretty easily in the end. That's kind of surprising. I thought the 48th might struggle. Here we go. I think one last bayonet charge is going to be from the Carabineers over here. A Grenadier light infantry unit. To be honest, they might rout the Carabineers. And no, they just about held on. Wow, that was lucky for the Carabiniers there. One. And then another Russian unit. I think this is the supporting one for the artillery. It's now officially the final infantry to be sent forward. And then after that, we'll just fast forward because it is just artillery, I believe, that is left after that for the coalition. But yeah, this unit should break just pretty quickly. Yeah, just like that. And then we'll fast forward, I guess. It's just kind of mopping up artillery now with the infantry. I don't know if the French really realize it's just artillery left. I don't know. Over here, they're just being really passive, and they're just sitting behind their buildings as that unit of artillery just pounds away at them. Looks like, oh, please, horse artillery, don't do a lot of running around. It's not a, I mean, yeah, they're going to, look at this. They're going to skirmish. They're going to try and win the game, I think, with this horse artillery. As soon as the French unit gets close, they're going to limber up, and they'll probably then just run away canister a little bit. Oh, I really hope they don't. Looks like the 10th line, or this unit here, the 100th and 8th. Oh, is that actually is going to catch them? And that technically gets rid of their carriages. That's good. So that horse artillery is now no longer horse artillery. We have got another 108th line infantry unit there, routed this big gun emplacement. And there you go. The horse artillery is also going to get dealt with pretty efficiently. That is good to see. And now I think it's just the two over here. Good God. The mopping up takes a little while, but there you go. We'll just fast forward again, and I think it should be pretty straightforward. A lot of guns, though, for the Russians. And, you know, I like to see the French are just spreading out their units, making sure that when the volley does come, it can't hurt them too much. It's a smart idea. Well, I say it won't hurt them too much. This 108th still got hit hard, and it nearly just broke instantly. But yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. It has certainly been a fun one, a bloody one, that is for sure. Battling over Telnitz. I thought maybe the Russians had it when they just romped through Telnitz, but then it just seemed they just ran out of steam in other areas. Personally, feel like they should have been a little bit more aggressive earlier when the French was still looking a bit shaky, and they had a line fight going on here. Felt like that was the time that they had to be aggressive and just take the battle to the French, but instead they just were quite passive. And yeah, I think it cost them the game. I think they had it at one point. And there you go. That should be the last artillery piece that has been sent packing there. Oh no, what is still alive? There's still artillery back here. Okay, guys, I'll see you in a minute once they've caught that up, and I'll see you with the end results. I'm not waiting around for this artillery to be routed, so I'll see you guys then. So we are back, and yeah, eventually the French got over there and dealt with that final gun battery of the Russians. But yeah, this is sent in by Johnny the Buffoon. He did send me the end results. Hopefully I put them up now for you to have a look at and enjoy. So well done to everyone that took part. It certainly was a bloody battle. The Russians and the French gave it their all. And I mean the Austrians as well. I can't forget them. Otherwise someone will say, where are the Austrians in the comments again? And they were there, I do promise you. They did take part. We'll quickly have a look at the unit stats. I mean, some insane kills here. For this is Johnny the Buffoon's perspective, by the way. He was playing as one of the NTW corps. Got over 380 kills with this 8-pounder. My gosh, it did well. I think it eventually got routed at the end. Like, earned 4 chevrons. Jeez. We then have 108th line infantry getting 231 kills. Another one of the 108th line getting 152. His Carabiniers getting 124 kills. His 48th getting 109 kills. He's got Grenadiers, the line down here, getting 73 kills. Dragoons getting 60 kills. But yeah, there you go. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. This is the final part of the Austerlitz mini-series. France did manage to do a clean sweep, 1, 2, 3, getting a win in each and every single one of them. So history will not be changed. Napoleon will be victorious at Austerlitz, one of his greatest victories in his career. And I hope you guys did enjoy. If you've got any more recommendations for miniseries, do let me know. We have got a few ideas in the pipeline, but I'm always interested to see what you guys would think would make a good miniseries. But until then, guys, I'll see you in the next one.